table fans, it's time for a Batrep! Batrep! Batrep!
Yeah.
All right, so the Bruce Wayne estate will be contacting me soon.
Yep. Lawsuit.
All right, yep. We'll take our commission in the form of a cashier's check. I'll be like, well, cashier's check, the phrase is copyrighted by me, so I'll take the thing in the form of a cash. But anyway,
I don't know.
So yeah, that was a little over Mason's head.
Yeah.
I know you guys got it though. All right, folks, so guess what? It's time for a Tau v Orcs grudge match because the Orcs are strutting around a little too big for their britches these days. All right, so here's what I've got. I've got 6-man strong fire warriors and 6 devilfish. I've not given up on this strategy. I am taking crisis suits this time, but a little different. I read about this thing called Rambo suits. And yeah, it's this concept. A crisis suit now costs only 22 points.
Okay.
And it has a jetpack and 2 attacks and strength 5. So it's basically kind of like an assault marine.
Kind of, yeah.
Effectively, yeah. So you have one crisis suit,
okay,
and you Rambo him out to just go create problems.
All right.
So I'm going to test this to the extreme and see how effective it is. So I have 6 one-man crisis teams, and everyone is exactly the same.
Okay.
So now some of you may have been following sort of the evolution of this army, and I basically just grabbed some crisis suits from trade stock from bluetablestore.com. So some of them had stuff that was already on there, and I just decided to run with that. But in the case of our game today, these all have 2 flamers, 2 gun drums.
Oh,
they
flamers.
all have exactly the same thing. So, and I have 3 piranhas, 3 units of pathfinders, each with 4 guys in them. I have 2 commands allowing me to take 2 contingents. That's how I've got 6 slots for crisis.
Gotcha.
And by the way, I think you're going to see that more as time goes on. Yeah, you'll see people taking like these multiple small units and a lot of them. Because slots aren't a problem anymore.
Nope.
No, if anything, you have too many slots. So, and then last game, I found out that with the marker lights, you
don't need to use them on those guys.
Yeah, it would have been better for me to have kept them as one single unit. And here's why, because of the multi-charge thing. It ultimately didn't help me at all. It just meant I had to use marker lights for this guy and then marker lights for that guy.
Their stuff mostly ignores cover anyway, so you can just go for the increased ballistic skill.
Well, not mostly. Just the smart missile system. But yeah, you're right. Also, in our last game, which we can't tell you about because it's going to be published later this week.
Really
so we got like a bit of a time warp going. So you're going to see me and Mason play a game during which we will not divulge to you the winner of our 4-way Rich Mason Roberto Sean matchup.
Too well.
That's right. Absolutely. But I did want to point out that I forgot to fire my shielded missile drones every turn.
Oh, really? Who had them?
Yeah. The Riptides had them. So Roberto may have been shooting his, but I never shot mine. Also, these bad girls here, the broadsides, can take missile drones.
Yeah.
With 2 shots each.
Are those shielded missile drones? Or they just missile drones?
Not shielded. Okay. Only the Riptides can have shielded missile drones.
Okay.
Which is kind of a combination of the 2. So that's my army. I'm now going to start and stop and let Mason tell you all about it.
Here's my protege over here. He's helping me make this list. This is all his idea, not mine. So if anything goes wrong, it's his fault. I'm just kidding. All right. So for my army, I have Zad Snark. He's the Forge World HQ war boss that still allows you to take biker troops. So I have 2 units, 10-man biker units. They're actually counting as troops for this game. There's a Knob Power Claw boss pole.
Look at all those bikers.
Exactly.
Holy
2 pain bosses on bikes. 3 trucks, Knob, Power Claw, boss pole, 1 rocket guy in there, and these are all identical. And then there's rockets on each of the trucks. And then 5 mobs Aludas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa, that's so many.
And then 4 Def Copters, and these are all running as individuals just to be harassy. Nice. So those would be just like your crisis suits for running around.
So you're taking 2 force organization charts, basically.
Yep. So I have 4 HQs, 2 here and 2 here.
Wow. So
2 war bosses on bikes.
What are the other 2 then?
War boss on bike, pain boss, pain boss, war boss on bike.
So these are like duplicates of each other.
Pretty much, except that he has the different war boss, and he's like a named one that has a different profile completely
okay.
than a normal
But
war
he
boss.
makes his war bikes troops.
He makes those war bikes troops.
Okay.
His troops are these.
Okay.
His troops are these, but he's going to be joining his.
All right.
See what I mean?
No, but
Okay.
I'll find out.
And then I have three mechs with rockets to go in the trucks as well.
Oh, that's great.
So there's tons of rockets and really tough guys. So I think I'm going to do pretty well.
All right.
All right, guys. I'm going to pause this and we'll get to deploying and stuff.
All right. Since this is kind of a Saturday, let's just get it done. Batrep.
It'll be faster.
And we don't have the cards because apparently GW is between runs on those.
Oh, really?
Maelstrom of War cards.
Oh.
Yeah, they sold out.
Ah.
So good for them. I mean, that's every businessman's dream is to sell out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our 6 Maelstrom of War objectives out.
Yep.
And then at the beginning of each of our turns, we're going to roll 3 dice, re-rolling duplicates, and activate 3 of those. Oh no, duplicates will be that many points.
Oh, okay.
So if you roll 2 2s, that one's worth 2 points.
All right.
Great, that'll save time.
Okay.
And that'll give the feel of a Maelstrom of War, but also make it run simple and allow us just to get the heck on with it. So
Sounds good.
without further ado, we will roll for our stuff. Go ahead and stop.
The main mission. Roll your warlord traits.
I'm going to do strategic traits, and because apparently, no, you know those are really no good for me. Okay, I'm going to do tactical traits.
Okay.
That looks good to me. Okay, and I'm going to get a 2, which is Master of Interference. Declare your warlord is using this ability at the end of one of your turns. Your opponent must randomly select one of his active tactical objectives and immediately discard it.
Go ahead and reroll those because we're not playing with them.
Well, but it could interpret into this.
Sure,
because
if
the
you want.
rolls we're doing are just like the cards.
Okay.
So I would randomly select one of his active tactical objectives. Oh, all right, I'll just re-roll it. 4. Forward planning. After generating tactical objectives on your first turn, you can immediately choose to use this warlord trait. If you do, discard all your tactical objectives and generate a new objective for each. Oh, that's retarded.
I would roll on a different table personally.
Yeah, you're right. All right, let's do command traits. This is not going to be useful. Yeah, that one's not
Personally,
useful
I like
either.
the personal and strategic are the two better ones.
I'll try strategic.
2.
Knight fighting rules in your game. There's no need to roll as a knight on the first turn into models in your army of the night vision special rule. All right, I'll take it.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
I'm going to roll mine. So here's my one out of the orc book first. That's a 3, and then here's the one on strategic table. This has to be strategic. Is a 4. What's 4 on there?
Strategic is +1 to seize the initiative roll.
Oh.
And can re-roll reserve rolls as long as you're alive. Failed or successful. We don't have any reserves.
Well, I could keep stuff in reserve, but I don't want to.
Could be a really big game
That could be
winner
good.
for this one. So that's tough.
Hold on, I'm going to pause this. I got to go get that workbook real quick. All right, guys. So for the warlord trait that I got out of my orc book, I have the lucky stick, so I get both warlord traits. Is re-roll, charge distance, or run moves.
You got what again? Lucky stick?
Lucky stick lets you get your regular warlord trait out of the book, and then an additional warlord trait, which is
Are
the
you
strategic
joking
table.
me?
Yeah, lucky stick's
How
awesome.
much does that cost?
It's like 20 points.
That's awesome.
20 points on your warlord. Totally. Actually, I think it might even be 15.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure off the top of my head. But yeah, it's dirt cheap. So yeah, this one lets you reroll the charge or run moves, which is pretty awesome, especially with the WA rule. So that'll be good. And I think we rolling for anything else on camera?
Let's just roll for deployment.
Okay.
Option to deploy first, go first. 5. Orcs get a 2.
2.
I, of course, will deploy first, go first.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, now you don't have to just say that you're going first. You can deploy and then decide after that.
Oh, really?
That's how it works
Well,
now.
obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to shoot
You might.
you for a turn.
You might see something opportune.
So what were your warlord traits again?
So this one lets me reroll my run and charge range, and it was number 4 in there.
With army wide?
Anybody within 12 of my warlord.
Okay, 12. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was number 4 on there? Crap, I can't remember.
It was the reroll reserves.
Oh yeah, I don't
And
want
then
to.
+1 to your seize the initiative.
Oh yeah, I'll stick with it.
Yeah, that's a big danger for me. It's a big danger for me.
All right.
Okay, so
that's, I think that's it
go
for
ahead and
camera.
start and stop. All right, so this is the board. Obviously, it's our spaceship board, our Gothic spaceship board. And this was done for Valhalla, one of the Valhallas in 2012. And it's an absolutely ridiculously amazing.
Cameron actually went through and like carved in all of these lines, by the way, that you see down here. They're not painted on.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
It's amazing. It's pure genius. Now, do want to remind you, October Valhalla is on. We're going to the same place we went last year. We've got War Game Consortium. Mini Wargaming is coming out. It is the not to be missed event of the year.
It's true.
It's going to be through the roof. Also sold out.
I was gonna say, yeah, I thought it was sold out.
Except there's one chance for you to come, and that is an event pass. So you stay in, there's a local city that's about 15 minutes away from the resort. So you stay there and you just come out for 16 hours a day. And so it's everything except for the sleeping. So all the important parts where you're awake.
Or they could just stay and not sleep, right?
Yeah, technically,
that happens.
Yes.
That does happen in Valhalla.
Just not sleep the entire time. That's okay with us.
Yeah.
And those tickets actually are the least expensive type of ticket.
That's true.
And we have, I think there is like 14 of those left. Okay, to continue, this is our board that we're playing on. And as you notice, the board is diagonally bisected by this relatively large piece right here that has all of this railing and stuff on it.
Yep.
Now I set up the board pretty much symmetrical, as you may notice. In both deployment zones, I put these elevated areas, one here and one here. But you'll notice these have very limited range. So like if I put broadsides up here, I won't be able to see a good portion of the board over here.
That's true.
Because of this huge thing right in the middle.
Yep.
And that's on purpose. That's about, that's good board setup, folks. So you don't make anything overly powerful. You don't make this huge killing field. But quite frankly, I think this will affect the play of the board quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because it limits movement through here. And of course over here. But it's not so limiting. Like a battle wagon could still fit through there, you know. And of course, Mason only has trucks.
Yep.
So that
fit.
really shouldn't be that. Even 2 trucks could conceivably get through this narrow area by simply going through one at a time.
True.
You know. So, but it does give it does give cover, but it also has a relatively open lanes of fire in other areas. And in fact, if you look at it, this side of the board is relatively more open than the other side of the board. So Mason's going to have to really kind of decide where he wants to go.
Well, we got to put those objectives out. That'll kind of determine everything too.
That's a big deal too. So let's go ahead and get on that. We rolled off for who got to deploy first, pick deployment zone before we put the objectives down. Which is a new thing for 7th edition, meaning you're not supposed to do that.
Yep.
You do the objectives first, and not knowing which side you're going to be on, and then you do the thing. So we just put this symmetrically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably just roughly outside the deployment.
Yeah, we just kind of eyeballed about where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, in each case. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy, and then I'll talk to you about that.
All right. I caught him with a mouthful. Oh, that's great. All right, I'll go over my deployment first since he's got a mouthful right now. So what I decided to do is I noticed that Sean has really short range actually for a Tau army because his longest range he has is 36 inches on the broadside suits. And that's only one of their weapon systems, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually backed up all of my Ludas because they have 48-inch range to the very furthest point that he can't actually even shoot me first turn with a lot of his things. Some things can move and probably get in range maybe. And you'll probably blink off a couple, but that'll minimize my casualties from my Ludas because I know that Sean hates Ludas, and that's going to be his first target. And then on this side, I'm kind of going with an Orky tactic here. I'm going to flood this entire side, take all the objectives, and then sweep him back that way and make him run away from me. That's my intention. And that's what Tau do. All right, let's go over your deployment, Sean.
All right, so I pretty much went across the board. Because, of course, the objectives are all over the board.
Yep.
However, if you noticed, I don't really have much right here. Mm-hmm. I have a pretty good concentration. Half the fire warriors are in the middle.
Yep.
So my strategy is actually pretty simple. Is to do the opposite, to move this way and try and shoot things before they can all funnel through these very limited access points.
I'm going to pause it.
Sorry. Nope. Now, I do have a strategic theory that I'm
working. Now that you've seen how I deploy.
The idea of that vehicles, you can't move, since moving comes first, you can actually be physically blocked by a vehicle. There's no way to get rid of it. You can shoot it, and then you can go over the wreck the next turn. So, but Mason really didn't take that many vehicles. He took these trucks here.
Just 3.
My objective is very simple, which is to clog the lanes with dead piranhas.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah. So when they were selecting piranha pilots for my army, they only take like really fat guys. Like, the piranha pilot's so fat because they're actually going to physically
weigh
clog
it
up
down.
the lane. That's right.
Awesome.
Their bodies are going to be slightly harder to get over.
For the greater good.
For the fatter good. So, anyway, long story short, if you look at Mason's deployment, look at how thin it is over on this entire side of the board. He does have these 2 trucks right here, which you can just zip in, almost park on that number 4.
Yep.
And there's really nothing I can do about that. If anything, I'm just strong on these 3. This is how the game really is a diagonal game.
That's what I created, yeah.
Now, if I can, I'll either have to shift these guys all over, you know, fighting a running battle and just give all this up.
Yep.
Or stick with my initial tactic, which is get those devilfish up and just try and delay the horde.
Mostly you're holding out for turn 2.
Yeah.
When he starts getting his flamers in, he plans to just try and burninate me. So, but if I think I can actually kill a lot of stuff before turn 2.
It's going to be a pretty rough choice for Mason.
Yep.
Which is, because he'll have moved forward. If you think about it, where will the bikes be?
Yep.
They'll be right here in a big blob.
Yep.
These bikes will probably not go this way. They'll probably come in here. If you think about it, that's really the best move, because both of those trucks can just go that way. So that's what it's going to look like at the end of turn 1. They'll literally be halfway across the field.
Yep.
Now, if I move the devilfish up so he can charge the first turn, which if I move him up at all, he will be able to, I'll actually, in a way, be helping those guys.
Yep.
They'll gain a charge distance.
You'll get further up the board.
Yeah, and I really won't, even though they won't be able to consolidate. So that move is actually only good if the orcs go first.
Yeah, the only crummy thing is
the orcs would move up,
you have
then I'd move my
18-inch range on both of those guns, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of short range.
There's really not much they can do. But last game, what I found is when I went 12, these guys didn't do anything anyway. There's not a lot of firepower. It's the body of the tanks that's the advantage here.
Yeah, because they're armor 12. Armor 12 transport, that's ridiculously good.
And if you think about it, let's say I go like this.
Yeah.
The first turn. And then now the orcs move up and they charge.
That will kind of crunch me into where I have to go, because I have to go.
Right, but see, that's still not a good maneuver. Now, if it were the opposite, let's say I lose the seize the initiative, because we still haven't rolled.
Yeah, I haven't rolled that yet.
Right? There's a 1 in 3 chance that he'll do it.
Yep.
He moves his bikes up. Now I move my devilfish up. Now he has to contend with them. He's going to spend a whole turn basically here, not even with the consolidate move.
Yeah.
So in that case, the devilfish maneuver actually isn't too bad. I think that's where those were. All right, well, let's do seize the initiative and get playing.
Let me grab a dice. Here we go, guys. Nope, didn't do it. I rolled a 4.
Yay!
So you get to go first. So we'll come back after your first turn move.
So folks, I'm putting this video up as a teaser to kind of wet your whistle
for the big one.
For the rest of this battle, which is coming.
Yeah. This would be like the first engagement that started it all. That's the way I would look at it.
Somebody suggested we should do a narrative campaign.
We should.
Tau versus, and because I'm building this huge Tau army.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
And I have like 6,000 plus points of orcs already. Plus Rich has probably 6 to 10,000. I bet he has 10 probably.
Well, will I get that? Yeah, probably. We're actually painting quite a few Tau armies.
Yeah.
And this other guy who we're doing the 18 fully magnetized battle suits for,
does he want bat reps?
We can use them
in
bat reps.
Another thought I had too.
It won't be long though, because they'll be done in like a week.
Yeah. Another thought I had too is if it's a narrative campaign, nothing says that the Eldar wouldn't sense some perils of an oncoming Wa, and then come out of their bin over there, Sean. Just so you know.
Yeah. Oh no, the Eldar are thirsting for orcs.
I know you love playing Rich with Eldar.
They don't like it when they actually get it. It probably doesn't taste too good. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, we'll come back after movement phase.
Stay tuned.